Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
This is the emergency broadcast system. Stand by for further information. Several reporting for the nuclear net. Shelter immediately. This warning applies to all areas receiving this broadcast. This message will be repeated in 10 seconds.
My previous evils.
Do you believe that the Lord tonight has set you free?
Yes, sir.
Turn around and tell those people.
Tell them.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. I said women. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will love a woman.
Dragging Biden. Calling him a retarded babbler.
I learned a lot. And I learned that it makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and there weren't allowed to, there was a 3-meter board. And if you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off.
A racist pig.
Personal comments he made about another White House hopeful, Senator Barack Obama, recorded by a reporter for the New York Observer.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice-looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
Obama released this statement saying, quote, I didn't take Senator Biden's comments personally, but obviously they were historically inaccurate. Obama adds, African-American presidential candidates like Jesse Jackson, Shirley Chisholm, Carol Moseley Braun, and Al Sharpton gave a voice to many important issues through their campaigns, and no one would call them inarticulate.
It was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing.
Saying that he belonged on a short yellow school bus.
And I tell you what, the men, they're now all men, the guys I work with down here, and they're all guys at the time, they're all good men. Most of them made an awful lot of themselves. And Earl Larkin had a rough time. And some of you knew Earl.
It was all wrong. I should not have done that. His newest commercial got me here. Help me see the light. Yeah. I gotta share it with you so that you can see the light too. He gave us the courtesy of putting it in our native tongue so that we wouldn't misunderstand anything. So you guys, I definitely have gotten a lot of pushback for being a supporter of Trump and not Biden. And although obviously socio-political revolution is my preferred method of pushing back against the system, in a situation where we're going to vote, I have always spoken very harshly against the Biden-Harris ticket. But today, I've seen the light. And I want to thank Biden's commercial. Wait until you hear the title. It's titled, and I thought this title was rather clever, Ultimate Rap League GOTV Battle Rap, Charlie Clips, 26 DNA Joe Biden for President 2020. It's a long title, but I think it encompasses something that should speak to the soul of all of us rap-loving Black people who play basketball. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Oh my gosh, did you see that? Today is not the day to practice your YER jumper. The way that they respect the fact that we can't spell, that we spell things phonetically. Like from the jump, I could tell that they were trying to reach people like me, who only know how to spell with sounds.
When people ask me what I miss about the United States, I often tell them Black people and Ebonics.
First, we're going to introduce ourselves to each other. So I'm going to say, what's up? Everybody knows what's up. What's up? Now we say, what up? If you want to work on accent, you say, what up? I spell it this way so you can actually get the accent.
That is, right? Okay.
What up?
So,
What up?
What up?
what up?
Instead of saying, oh, everything's all right, you say, already.
So słuchaj, już. But let's say that, I don't know, you have like a court situation, you're talking to a judge. Would you talk to the judge using Ebonics? Or?
Instead of actual pairing of vowels. You're a jumper. Just want to point that out.
Yo, why you ain't been answering your phone? You know why I'm calling you. You have to vote. You know why I don't vote? Why? Because as a Black man, I just feel like there's no hope. Our president telling people to go back to China, taking the coronavirus as a joke.
I'm really offended by the go back to China comment. Because I, as a Black person, I'm Black. You can see that, right? You see this? Blackness. I, as a Black person, remember when they used to tell us to go back to Africa.
The reparations that you talk about, Mr. Neville, your people already got your reparations. Your reparations came in the form of a man named Barack Obama.
Please hold your response.
My advice to you My advice to you, if you don't like it here in America, planes leave every hour from Tampa Airport. Go back to Africa. Go back to Africa.
Did you hear that? Man, you know how they told us black folk to go back to Africa? Man, they said that to the Chinese. They told them to go back to China. And I personally, I'm offended on their behalf.
改变只需一颗俏皮洗衣溶珠，俏皮全国招商热线400-800-5086。
Pork fried rice, chow mein, pot stickers. I sympathize. I do.
And that's the part that frightened me. When you choose a president, it's supposed to be a knockout. Then why this situation doesn't entice me? If you got the answers to get me out this dark path, my brother, enlighten me.
Why this situation doesn't entice me? Why this situation doesn't entice me? His grasp of ebonics. I appreciated that, you know? Because I have spent so much of my life presenting myself as somebody that is well-spoken, when deep down, all I've ever really wanted to do was not conjugate, misuse a verb or two, and fudge up my predicates. Why this situation doesn't entice me? It's liberating. I feel liberated. I felt boxed in by the white man's language, but no more. No more. Because of Biden.
We always telling each other to stay woke. That's why this time we gotta use our voice and you have to vote. The facts should show. Biden has a plan for African Americans. We're not dealing with your average Joe.
Man, he's so right. Counting on a 70-year-old white man. Is he 80? Is he 80? Counting on an 80-year-old white man to liberate us is the most woke thing I have ever done. I mean, ever. Okay? I know that I bring up socio-political revolution a lot, but deep down, I just wanted somebody who understood me. I mean, if the great white father Biden can't do it, who can?
That authority has sometimes been called paternalistic, and that's our topic in this program. In our last program, we saw how highly debatable the whole subject of colonialism has become. We'll be pursuing that debate through the next few programs, starting now with one aspect of it, paternalism, the business of the great white father telling the natives what to do for their own good.
You can't be woke if you don't understand this. When Biden said that you were not black if you didn't vote for him.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
All he meant was that you needed to open your third eye. Right there on your head. So that you could see. So that you could see.
First of all, we must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection. See, because to preclude on the issue of world domination would only circumvent, circumcise the revelation that it reflects the aphrodisiac symptoms which now perpetrates the Jericho's activation. So, do not misinterpret the chauvinistic...
Give to the United Negro Scholarship Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to develop without help.
That voting for Biden is being woke. And the fact that this is all taking place on a basketball court. Man, you know how we love basketball? It's like when 90% of us do to earn money.
I see the way you looking right now. You know exactly where I'm going to go with this. For 4 years, we had Trump in office, and we made the most of it. But we finally got somebody that could be in office, that could give us a chance to have home ownership. I'm talking to all of you. $640 billion over the course of 10 years, so we can finally get housing that's affordable. Look at him now. I got him stuck. With Biden and Harris' plan, we got to trust, because we can't say we support Obamacare but rock with Trump. So Harris and Biden is going to help with black ownership, huh? Okay. Maybe it's true.
Lift every voice till earth and heaven ring with the harmony. Let our rejoicing roll. Biden's plan for Black Americans is called Lift Every Voice, and I'm pretty sure that's based on the Black National Anthem. That's right. And so when they were talking about home ownership, not that I read or anything, because, you know, reading is not something that Black people do. We do play basketball though, but we don't read. So anyway, not that I read too much, because I don't. Now don't take my Black card. But I decided to pull out my MacBook Pro that I managed to afford by piecing together 13 welfare checks, just to look up what Biden was going to do for Black people with regard to affordable housing and homeownership. And I just wanted to share with you what he has to say, because it's so important. As President Biden will invest $640 billion over 10 years so that every American, not Black Americans, but every American, has access to housing that is affordable, stable, safe, and healthy. But maybe the Black stuff is coming later. So let's look. Help families buy their first home and build wealth by creating a new refundable advanceable tax credit of up to $15,000. So it is a temporary tax credit as part of the Recovery Act that applies to all Americans, not Black people. Okay, that's okay. No problem. This next one will be about Black people. Tackle racial bias, I'm a race, that leads to homes in communities of color. Communities of color. That's not Black people, is it?
Ethnic, diverse, Black, brown, non-white, Asian, Indigenous, First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander, ATSI, Women of Color, WOC, People of Color, POC, non-Black people of color.
No, it's not. That doesn't sound like it's for Black people, but what do I know? Because I'm just here to watch two Black guys on a basketball court speak Ebonics. So let's continue.
That sounds legit. Only if our president now would quit. Hey, did you know that unemployment for African Americans is up %? Hey, did you know that unemployment for African Americans is up %?
No way. Unemployment for African Americans is up percent? If I would have known it was up percent, I would have voted for Biden a long time ago. You know what I really appreciate? I appreciate that Biden knows we don't get caught up in facts and numbers and things. We get caught up in emotionality and words. I mean, why bother with a statistic when saying a percent is way better? In fact, Let's listen to this argument again.
Hey, did you know that unemployment for African Americans is up 6%? So when you tell me to go and vote, well, the reason why it's such a hard one, because how we expect our people to get jobs, and the president can't even get the job done.
Okay, so unemployment is up percent, and we can't go vote because we're jobless. And how does our president expect us to get the job done? I'm sorry. Does this make any sense? Is it me? Is it that I'm lost? I'm starting to get confused. I mean, I felt touched and enthusiastic when this started, but it's starting to break apart in front of my eyes. So I don't know how to feel.
Bro, I understand it's a process, so I'm not rushing you. Take your time. You know what, speaking of that, I got the perfect place to take you that'll change your mind.
Aw, man, Biden almost lost me with the 8%. But now that there's a Black Lives Matter sign there, well, hell, I'm on board again. It's amazing how he knows my mind. Just get right in there.
So you think because you brought me here that I'm just supposed to confide in Biden? What about the innocent blacks that get snatched out their vehicles just for riding? We don't even ask for much. All we do is ask for respect.
Find out what it means to me.
I want to start this shit off straight, telling all three of y'all stop playing with my name. Remember, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more. Nigga, when my name come up, respect it. I ain't gonna say it no more. Put some respect on my name.
That's right. Black people getting snatched out of their cars. Respect. Man, if he names off 4 or 5 dead black people, I'm at the poll.
Before they did what they did to George Floyd, this country had their foot on our neck. Now do you understand why I'm upset?
That's one dead black person. But I'm not moved by one. I'm gonna need you to cough up some more dead black bodies' names. Then I might really vote for you.
I feel you, because every time we throw the system an uppercut, all they give us in return is low blows. But Biden and Harris got a plan to outlaw the chokehold. It's inspiring. Donald Trump is the apprentice, but now it's our turn to do the firing.
Outlawing chokeholds. That's gonna liberate our people, man. You know that all that stood between us and social equality was a chokehold? All of this in front of a Black Lives Matter sign. It's touching all the points. Pressure.
And review everything before we hire them. 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 Donald Trump is the apprentice, but now it's our turn to do the firing. And review everything before we hire them. Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, say their damn names.
Okay, it's official. They named at least 4 dead black people. They're standing in front of a Black Lives Matter sign. These men, they're not even high yellow. They're black. And they were playing basketball earlier. The use of ebonics, the stats, not getting us bogged down with numbers. And helping me understand that programs for people of color, gays, and handicapped people apply to me too. It's all I needed. I'm sold. I am convinced.
Goal is to get Donald out of office and Trump his campaign. You know, before you actually called my phone, I honestly had no hope. But if Biden and Harris going to do exactly what you said, then I'm going to go vote.
Man, now that I know that Biden knows that I speak rap, that I don't understand proper syntax, that he's going to open up housing opportunities for people of color, gays, handicapped people, women, and let me have a little slice of the cake. And that he's going to ban chokeholds, which will single-handedly change the fate of black people in this country. Because, you know, that chokehold thing is all about us. And the fact that he remembered about 5 names of 5 dead black people. I can't deny it. I've been fighting against this nomination. But Biden 2020, if you can't see the light after this, you never will. Never.
What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.